What is up, people? Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another match preview here on the Cup Chasers. That's right. The Arsenal visit Elland Road, and it's going to be an absolutely massive test. Going to be a very, very tough one. Leeds have only lost twice at home all season long. They absolutely bring the energy, bring the heat, and the fans bring the noise. Of course, it's going to be a very, very tough match. So let's go ahead and get the likes up for a classic Premier League ground. Smash that hype button as well if you got any. Of course, it certainly helps the channel, and I appreciate it if you be in here. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Thanks for being here, like I say. And I want to know what you're thinking in the comments section down below. Will Arsenal be able to beat Leeds, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and Daniel Farke at home in a place where they have been very, very, very tough to beat? That is for sure. So, right out the rip, we can start with some of the head-to-head statistics here as I get them pulled up. I definitely think this is going to be a very, very tough game. It will be a battle won in the midfield. That is for certain. Definitely a big game for Arsenal as it pertains to the title race, as it pertains to momentum moving forward. We definitely need to bounce back in the Premier League. I'm not necessarily thinking about the Kairat game as a bounce back. Yes, it was positive. Yes, there were some good things to see there. Some good link-up play between Gyökeres and Kai Havertz. Some good stuff was on display, but I'm not going to take too much of set too much store by it just for the fact that it was Kairat Almaty. So, with that in mind, I definitely want to need a big performance, need an awareness that we're still in this. We're still got a lot of work to do, and we've left ourselves a lot of work to do with the results that we've gone through recently. And looking at Leeds' last five, they beat Fulham at home. They drew Manchester United at home. And they've been decent on the road. Beat Everton, drew with Everton. I watched that game. It was a very interesting game. Very interesting how Leeds got up and then sat back and got deeper and deeper and deeper. That was away from home, so that'll be way different tactical approach from Daniel Farke's men at home. They come out with a ton of energy. They always start with a ton of energy, and Arsenal are going to have to match that right out the rip because it's going to be fast, it's going to be furious, and they are going to battle in the midfield with the likes of Ampadu, Stack, and in the middle they had Gruev as the captain, so he'll be there. He'll be starting as well. I expect the same midfield pairing. It'll be Gruev, Ampadu, Stack, and Brendan Aronson is what I expect. I honestly expect the exact same lineup they played against Everton. James Justin will be on the left, Jared Bogle providing width on the right, and Strauch, Bornau, and Rodon will be their center back pairing. So we're definitely going to have to win second balls. That, my friend, is the very biggest. That's where this game will be won and lost. Who wins the second balls? Who plays quickly in transition? Because if we let Leeds get into the low block, if we play slow like we have been a lot of the times, like we've been accused of recently, and let Leeds get into their defensive positions, we'll struggle. It's going to be the same dross that it's been. Oh, back and forth, side to side. Let's try to win a corner kick to see if we can't pull them out of their positions, or maybe scramble one over the line so that we get a lead and then pull them out of positions. I really don't want to see that. I don't want us to be held to just having to win corners and to try and get past the low block. I don't want to see that at all. You would think after what phase are we in, 934, that we would be able to break down a low block. And it's very simple. It's not easy to do, obviously, but it's the ideas are simple. If we get around their defenders, if we can pull both their wingback and their right center back, left center back, whatever, over to the sides and get in behind them for the cutback and the runners, the deep runners, or have Gyökeres just in the box for the ball across like we did so many times versus Kairat. He actually has to dump them in. I'll say that. Instead of toe poking it 15 yards in the air from a foot away, he definitely needs to dump them in. We'll have to be clinical. And I think we have to score early in this one. But I don't want it to be, they're comfortable and then we scam one. I want to match their early energy because they're going to bring it, weather their storm for 10 minutes and then shove it down their throat. I think that, what I really, really want to see is us to come out and have more energy than them and be even more, just like we did in the Inter game, just like we did versus Chelsea in the Carabao Cup. That's what I want to see. Arteta has this thing where he clearly knows that if we go to a big away ground in the Champions League and we press them to death a la Inter, we can win. We can smash them. And I think we need to take that same approach in this game versus Leeds, because if we play quickly in transition, the bread and butter of this Arsenal team against the ball is to make the keeper hit it long. And Leeds will revert to that very quickly. Everton didn't press too high, and so Leeds tried to play out a number of times, and they were able to do so. But that's Everton. If we press them high, we will force them to hit it long through the goalkeeper more often than they want to. But they're comfortable doing that. They're very, very comfortable doing that. A lot of times, even when they did try to pass it around a little bit, Everton got into the passing lanes and were able to stay on Gruev and stay on Ampadu and stack in the middle of the field, and they would just skip it. But Brendan Aronson and Stack and Ampadu, as I mentioned, they fight like absolute animals in that midfield for the second balls. And so, yes, Dominic Calvert-Lewin against Big Gab and Willie Saliba is going to be very important, who is going to win. We can't let DCL just get on the end of everything. We cannot let DCL get on the end of everything, because James Justin and Jared Bogle, who he's looking to get the flick onto because they're the ones providing width, they're both very fast. They're both very, very quick. And Arsenal fans, you may remember a certain James Justin scoring a screamer in a 4-2 victory over Leicester a couple of seasons ago. Maybe that was last season, but we were up 2-0, let him come back into it, and James Justin scored an absolutely incredible volley to tie that game up before we were able to go on and win it. But, we got to look out for him. He's definitely the speedster on the left-hand side. Bogle providing width on the other side. Stack was getting into very advanced positions when Leeds did have the ball and looking to combine. So we unequivocally have to win the second balls. We have to win this midfield battle. We have to. Because if we don't, they can play the ball quickly. They can get the ball down and find Dominic Calvert-Lewin. They like to get it wide to Bogle and hit it back across. That's going to be huge. If we don't win second balls and we're facing crosses all day long, it could be bad news bears, because we are not awesome like Jan Awesome when it comes to defending crosses. And this team will look to put the crosses in. That is for sure. Now, Leeds, yes, perhaps languishing down in 16th, but they still have some goals in them. So we're going to have to unequivocally win the second balls. And when we don't, we cannot let crosses in. I've been screaming it from the rafters while watching us trying to defend sometimes in the Premier League. We cannot let crosses in, this team will look to play wide, look to get Bogle and Justin into crossing positions and target Dominic Calvert-Lewin. But if we just dominate the midfield, win all the battles, win all the duels, win the second balls, Declan Rice and Martin Zubimendi, you two are going to be absolutely monstrous in this game. I need them both to be very, very big in this game. And with that in mind, we will take a look at what I think the starting lineup should be. Yes, Kai combined well, and yes, he's on the thumbnail. But for me, I still think after the press conference today, Arteta said everyone is healthy. Obviously, they asked him about playing time, and he was talking about how some players might get left out, and they mentioned Christian Norgard, which is crazy to leave him out, I think, because he was fantastic for his Kairat, played with freedom. And Arteta talked about playing with freedom. We absolutely have to. We have to play with freedom. But I'll get to that at the end. I certainly expect Declan Rice, Martin Zubimendi will definitely start. I'm expecting Martin Odegaard to start as well. I want to see Gyökeres. I don't want Gyökeres dropped. If you look at the statistics on how well we do when he starts the game, we win most of the games that he starts. Yes, people have their issues with him. The eye test of Victor Gyökeres sometimes makes you want to look away, but also he does have the most goals this season. He's got 12 G&A. I guess we'll be shameless enough to give him that assist for Martinelli versus Kairat. But all told, Victor has 10 goals. We're top of the league. We're top of the Champions League, qualified first for the Champions League, top of the Premier League, into the semifinals of the Carabao, into the next round of the FA Cup. And so, can we just calm down a little bit? Yeah, he's not Cristiano Ronaldo. He's not prime Benzema, but we're still top of everything. We're still maybe not, no, we're not perfect, so we're not doing the absolute best we can do, but we're pretty damn close. You know what I mean? And so I'm happy so far. Yes, it was a stumble last weekend. Yes, I was furious. Yes, the two games before that were not great as far as Forest and Liverpool. And so in the league, we need a huge response. No, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh my God, we have to win 4-0. Oh man, we have to smash them or else. We have to win or else is where I'm at. But more importantly, I want to see this freedom that Arteta is talking about. I want to see it on the pitch. We saw it in the first half. Eze, Kai, Gyökeres, they were all looking to go forward. And when we win the second balls, because like I said, this game will be won in the middle of the park. Whoever wins the duels and wins the battles in the midfield will win this game. So if we are the team that's going to win the second balls, I need lightning quick passes. Because when they do hit it long, Bogle and James Justin both maraud forward when they hit it long. So if you win the ball back quickly, get the ball into... Honestly, I have a sinking suspicion it'll be Martinelli. I have a sinking suspicion that Gabriel Martinelli will start this game just because of the fact that they play the 3-5-2 with the wingbacks who get up, and there could be space in behind there. And so I have a sneaking suspicion that Gabriel Martinelli will start, and Arteta will want him to start and get into those spaces behind him. And we have to look for those runs quickly, even if it's not him. If it's Trossard, Gyökeres makes those runs as well. We have to look for them so quickly, so much quicker than we normally do. Win the ball in transition. When we win it, 1-2 touch stuff max. Win that second ball, and immediately, is Gyökeres in the channel? Is Martinelli running the line? Who's there? Let's Forward, go, 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 go. That's the urgency that I need to see. That's the urgency I need to see. And I think is required to win this game because Leeds are going to have that urgency. Leeds are going to have that passion, that verve, that drive in the midfield. They 100% will. So we have to match it. Now, obviously, I want Calafiori on the left. You know, Gabriel, Saliba, Timber. Those are that's the back line. Raya, of course, mainstays back there. That's what I want. If Calafiori is not as fit as possible, then we might see Nkapie or even Mosquera. Just a side note, Miles Lewis-Skelly might be in for some time on the bench. Not marking up your man on the back post is something we've seen heavily punished this season. Certain Matty Cash will let us know. But MLS doesn't mark up his man on the back post for the Kairat second goal. And yeah, that's not great. I'm sure Arteta is not excited about that. So I'm not expecting to see Miles Lewis-Skelly anytime soon. But yeah, obviously it's Bukayo Saka at right forward. But the other three positions, who's on the left, who's down the middle, and who's playing number 10 is where all the discussion has been this weekend. But people, I'm going to tell you right here, it's going to be Martin Odegaard. It's 100%. Odegaard starts, Declan Rice, Martin Zubimendi. And I want Gyökeres. I want to see Gyökeres. I'll be a little miffed, a little annoyed if Gyökeres doesn't start. And what that means is Odegaard's got to step up, man. Martin Odegaard has to step up, and this has to be his game. This has to be the one where he shuts down all the noise, where he says, look, people, I'm back. 22, 23, Odegaard is here. I'm playing quick. I'm playing with passion. I'm playing smart. I don't want to see twirly, side to side, left, back and forth, back and forth. When we create the triangle on the right-hand side with Timber, Bukayo Saka, and Martin Odegaard, and even when Gyökeres comes over as well, the ball from Saka back to Odegaard, when they double-team Saka, that needs to be his activation. That needs to be when he activates, is when that ball comes back. We're in the triangle, yeah. Gyökeres maybe makes a run. Jurriën Timber's on an underlap. Saka plays the ball back to Odegaard, and we have a little bit of space because the midfielder, Stack probably, has gone over to double-team Saka. That is when Odegaard needs to activate. Instead of getting the ball back and maybe, okay, we'll find maybe a pass this way, or maybe we'll look back to Saliba, or we'll find a pass. That's when he needs 1-2 touch, a reverse ball back into the channel, an immediate cross, maybe from Martinelli on the back post, or open your body, one touch and rip one near post. It's got to, like, those are the three options, and you got to do it like lightning fast. It has to be so quick. Before the ball gets to him, he needs to make that decision. Too many times in that moment of the game, because we create that moment of the game a ton of the time, we create that exact scenario where we have the triangle on the right, but Martin is at the back of it, and he gets the ball back when we have found a tiny little bit of space, but he doesn't want to risk the pass. He doesn't want to put it in. He doesn't want to go for the one-touch risky ball. Instead, he sees it, and then it closes. And he's like, all right, well, we'll just go back to Saliba. We'll just go back this way. We'll just retain possession. I don't want that. I don't want any of that anymore. Yes, I know Leeds are very good on the counter. They play quickly. They have technical ability. Dominic Calvert-Lewin's on fire. I get it. I understand. But, I mean, if you have to, just have Zubi and Rice sit a little bit farther back. Just a little bit farther back, you know? Hello, SBO. How you doing, man? If he just sits a little bit farther back, it'll give us the comfort. It'll give us that comfort. Yeah, this is the prediction here. SBO hoping Leeds can beat us 4-3. That'd be a crazy game, and I would be furious if we conceded 4 goals. I would be furious if we conceded 4 goals to Leeds. That would be crazy. I certainly don't want this to happen. That's for sure. But when we win the ball in the midfield, we have to play so much faster. And when we are building up through the lines, because if they press at all, if they come even a little bit out of their shape, that's how we're going to beat them. Look at the vertical passing from Eze to Havertz to Gyökeres. Boom, boom, boom. And he's in for the goal. Let's see some of that. If they're going to press even a little bit high, just play through them so quick, so much quicker. I think that's where this game is going to be won or lost. If we play slow, if it's side to side, if it's not a lot of urgency, if we shave 10 minutes of this game by not having any urgency on corners and set piece situations and throw-ins, it's going to infuriate me. It's going to infuriate me. We do that so often. I just need a little bit of energy. Dude, listen, Leeds United 3-2 beat Liverpool, but Arsenal cannot beat Arsenal twice. Remember, yes, I hear you. I hear you. But the way we approach Leeds, hopefully, will be way different than the way we approached Liverpool. If Arteta is as afraid of Leeds as he is of Liverpool, we have a serious issue. That's a serious problem. That's just going to be an absolute serious problem. Gratefully, the world doesn't work like this. The league don't work like this. You know, just because Leeds beat Liverpool and we did not beat Liverpool at all this season. SBO, remember, what about the other fixture? What about the last time Arsenal played Leeds? Yes, it was at the Emirates, but wasn't there 5-0? 5-0 we smashed them. So this isn't how the world works, unfortunately, for Manchester City fans. But don't get it twisted. This will be a very, very tough game. And it's going to be won in the midfield. It's going to be won by who battles the most, the hardest, who wins the second balls. And what I want to see is a shitload of intensity in the first half. And let's just put it to bed. And then we're able to bring on, Eze, the likes of Eze, Kai Havertz can get some minutes, Jesus, etc., and we can see it out. That's the ideal game path. And if we bring the heat right at the beginning, I think we can do that. Leeds United and Fulham, the two clubs are strong and dangerous. City beat Leeds 3-2. You guys were super arrogant versus Leeds, though, at home and in the Fulham game. Yeah, Fulham's pretty strong for sure. I don't think Arsenal are going to approach the game like City did versus Leeds. Leeds noticed that y'all were not that putting it on them at all, and you gave them opportunities, and you were arrogant, you were listless, you didn't really put it on them. I need Arsenal to put it on them, really put it on them, and not let up. That's how you beat this Leeds team. That's how you beat the Leeds team for sure. When they had a little bit of the game, if they have a little bit of the game near the end of it, they'll get deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, and they could stifle us. They absolutely could stifle us. So I need early intensity and an early goal to kind of change the narrative of the game, change the dynamic of the game, and make them come out at us a little bit. Oh, come on. Come on. You have to have Semenyo and Gahey to beat Leeds? Is that what you're telling me, SBO? Is that what you're telling me, buddy? That you have to have Semenyo and Gahey to beat the likes of Leeds? Homie, they're in 16th place. Gyökeres scored against them, dude. Gyökeres got a double against Leeds last time out. Big old scary old Leeds, man. I don't think that you guys against Leeds, City were just arrogant. They're like, oh, we got the lead. We got a 2-goal lead. We'll just F around. That's exactly what happened. Because Man City aren't showing the mentality. That's the same thing that happened at Fulham. You're not showing the ruthless champions mentality. You just let up. You stop playing in both of those games, and it damn near cost you in both of those games. So we cannot do that. Arsenal unequivocally cannot do that. We have to bring the intensity, and we need to smoke them and finish the game before they get any joy. Because against Everton, they ended up conceding, and I think it's a poor strategy for them to do that. But against us, if they have any joy at all, they're gonna be miserly and really, really, really tough to break down. Gyökeres will make more his hair touch than he will touch the ball against Leeds United and some previous opponents. He wasn't great versus Sunderland 1-1. Who got 1-1 with Sunderland? Oh, are you bringing me my results, Paraga? Is that what you're bringing me my results here? It was 2-2 versus Sunderland. Anyway, are you giving me Leeds results? Are these Leeds results here that are popping up? Yeah, Leeds results. Yeah, hey, man, they're going to be tough. They've only lost twice at home all season. They're going to be it's going to be a very, very tough game. And we need to see the urgency and the, quicker passing play from Arsenal if we're going to win this game. I think we can win the battle in the midfield. I 100% think we can win the second balls. I think tactically the game suits us because we can make them. They're very quick to kind of give up on the playing out from the back when they are under pressure. I saw it at Everton a lot. Everton kind of half pressed and they would just hit it long. So if we full press them and make them hit it long and then win the second balls, we'll smash them. We have the ability to smash them. But again, we got to play so much faster than we do. We got to play so much faster than we normally do. Mikel Arteta has talked about freedom. He's talked about playing with the freedom that we haven't necessarily had. And we can see that. I agree 100%. I agree 100% here with this. The first half lead is very important for the Gunners. I definitely agree with this. We got to blitz them in the first half. And that's what I've been calling for in general, is to blitz teams right in the first half. And we did so with Chelsea. We did so with Inter Milan, the way we pressed very, very high right out the rip. And that's what I need to see. Leeds 4, Arsenal 3, Leeds 0-0. Any of these are good for SBO. You're just going to predict any kind of drop points for the Arsenal, and one of them will happen. You can choose. Hey, man. I don't know that. Are there other options? Maybe a 1-0 to the Arsenal. Whatever it takes, man. Hook or crook. I need these 3 points. I absolutely need these 3 points because SBO here, you got a tough game, man, versus your boogeyman, your bogeyman, I should say, up at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and that we will be there. Trust me, on this channel there will be a watch along, SBO, so you can come back if you like, get that notification bell on. Of course, we will be there to cheer. Well, cheer is a strong word. Cheer is a really strong word, when it comes to Spurs. But, of course, we'll have our eye on that one. But, yeah, as far as Elland Road is concerned, Arsenal got to bring the intensity, got to bring the energy. We have to match them right out the rip because they're going to bring a lot of energy. Got to win second balls, and we have to play quick in transition. Of course, there will be a watch along right here. We'll be locked in, and I hope you are as well. So go ahead and get that notification bell on. You'll know when I'm going live tomorrow, of course. And as far as this one's concerned, like I said, I need a lot of energy, a lot of intensity from the Arsenal, and hopefully we can get, I'll go with a 2-0 win. We beat Tottenham in the last away game in the previous worst season of Manchester City. Yeah, I remember that. I try not to think about it. I'm trying not to think about Heung-min Son and his purposeful miss. But, those are Spurs, and we can't really control when Spurs are going to Spurs all over the place, and hopefully they'll Spurs all over you, but that's, that's just me. But anyway, of course, people, thanks for being here. Smash up those likes. It really does help the channel. Hit the hype button if you got any of those left. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Get that notification bell on because we will definitely be back before you know it. Once again, thanks for being here, and you will see me next.